since the white man first ventured into this new world, the barriers of ocean, tropic jungle, and mountains have separated the United States from the other Americas. Only yesterday, by our fastest means of surface travel, the progressive capitals of South America were farther away from the United States than was India. Today, this vast network of Pan-American Airways links for the first time in history these 33 countries, colonies, and possessions, a thrilling monument to the United States airmail service. The Trailblazer. The year is 1929. Colonel Charles A. Lindbergh is about to take off from Miami, Florida with the first United States airmail for South America, to blaze a trail which was destined in 5 short years to span the Caribbean Sea and encircle the entire southern continent. The plane is the first of the famous Sikorsky amphibians built especially for this service. What a far cry to the great 19-ton clipper ships that now ply the airways of the southern hemisphere. Aboard these giant flying boats, largest airliners in the world, in addition to Uncle Sam's airmail, go some very unusual cargoes. Everything, books, and even baby chicks. And it's all aboard for Havana, Kingston, Trinidad, and all points south, to Rio de Janeiro and even Buenos Aires, now only 5 days away. A full list of 40 passengers leave the Pan American Gateway at Miami for the West Indies and Central and South America. In a few minutes, the magic skyline of Miami slips beyond the horizon. Before long, we pass this last tip of the North American mainland, just like it used to look in the old school geography. Then we're out over the blue waters of the Gulf Stream, speeding to Cuba at better than 2 miles a minute. It's hard to believe we're aboard an airplane when we roam around this luxurious clipper ship with its 50-foot aisle. There's a steward's buffet from which meals and refreshments are served, and even a smoking salon. In scarcely an hour and a half, we make a journey which by steamer takes a full day. And below us lies Havana, the pearl of the Antilles, Old Morro Fortress standing guard at the harbor's entrance, and the magnificent Capitol buildings set forth like the centerpiece in a jeweled crown of many colors. And here's the famous Malecón Boulevard and the historic monument erected by Cuba in memory of the Maine. We soar on while our radio keeps us in constant touch with the great network of ground stations, from which radio compasses keep our giant clipper ships spotted at all times. Our airliner is under the guard of 3 radio stations every minute we're aloft, to keep the airmail, passengers, and express on schedule. Each radio station is a complete weather bureau. Exact details of all conditions ahead and behind are relayed to pilots on the wing every few minutes. In 5 brief flying hours, we're circling over Kingston, Jamaica, one of the treasure islands of the Western Indies, nestling beneath lovely blue mountains on the edge of the Caribbean Sea. Once a pirate stronghold, this picturesque outpost of the British Empire is typical of colonial England today. The city itself, filled with quaint and interesting scenes, is famous for its beaches and resort attractions. About the palm-bordered coast, there are picturesque coves where pirates once hauled their loot ashore. The famous Blue Hills are alive with 1,000 silvery cataracts that tumble through the brilliant tropic foliage. And here, of all places, you look upon herds of the sacred cattle of India wandering over palm-dotted pasture lands, imported here because they thrive in the tropic sunshine. Where buccaneers once moored their rakish craft, our clipper ship taxis out to the open roadstead, and we climb into the sky again and are off for the magic isle of Haiti. Barely 30 minutes and we're across the windward passage which took Columbus so many days of sailing. We're above the lovely bay in the city of Port-au-Prince, Haiti's famous capital. And here's the old French cathedral built in the days of Napoleon. This white marble capital, palace of Haiti's president, is a glistening landmark in these southern islands. Just 5 brief hours as the airmail flies, and we're in this unique capital of a mystic land. Here are sights and sounds unmatched on the face of the globe. Here's a land where the eerie throbbing of native drums rolls down from the hills in the brilliant moonlight of the Haitian night. Here's the land where a slave once rose to be a king in agriculture with startlingly primitive tools. Here, for instance, is a hand-driven lathe. And here's a trimmer that works on bed springs. It has been the same from father to son through the centuries. Yet aided by such primitive methods, Haiti sells $50 million worth of manufactures, hardwood, coffee, sugar, and other products to the world every year. The cutting of this hardwood log represents a full day's work for both men and the superintendent. Before this log is half sawed through, a flying clipper ship will be halfway to the southern continent. In 5 brief hours from Miami, our giant clipper ship has spanned the 800 miles to Port-au-Prince, Haiti. And we're off for Santo Domingo, first of the white man's capitals in America and the beginning of the Spanish Main. Beyond Port-au-Prince, we fly directly over the historic citadel of Haiti's Black King Christophe, built on the very peak of a mountain. In less than 20 minutes, we have crossed all eastern Haiti, and beyond our window lie the chalk cliffs of Santo Domingo, which so often sheltered the brave sailing craft of Columbus. A few minutes more, through a cooling tropic shower, we're cruising by the ancient city of Santo Domingo itself, founded more than 4 centuries ago by Columbus. This is the river into which his ships of discovery sailed and on whose banks he built the city destined to become the gateway to a new world. The tree to which Columbus tied his flagship still stands along the riverbank. And here in the heart of the city he founded and which later refused him entrance and sent him back to Spain in disgrace is the first cathedral ever built in the Americas. Within this old church, filled with priceless treasures, the cradle of America's history, lie the mortal remains of the great discoverer. These bells were among the many gifts of Ferdinand and Isabel and many of the crowned heads of Europe to Columbus and to this historic shrine. And here are the ruins of the castle of Diego Columbus, son of the discoverer, who lived to govern the city his father built.